Hello, so how will driving instructors do social distancing? Now imagine I'm sitting in a car now and the pupil is sitting there next to me. It's obviously not possible to do social distancing. So in this video, I'm going to take a look at what the options are, when and how driving instructors will return to work. And I've got some ideas I'd like your opinion on. So as we said before, you can't socially distance in a car. It's just not possible. So there are some options. One option people have recommended to me is putting a barrier down the middle of the car, but that won't happen for two reasons. First of all, it's just not practical. Imagine you've got a plastic barrier down the centre of the car like that. Now I have seen some designs where it kind of curves over the gear stick, but it's really hard to get your hand under and go for the wheel, so that raises safety concerns. And also, if you've got this big gap here, is that really an effective barrier? Because if someone sneezes or coughs, won't the germs just come under the barrier? And also, how are you going to talk to people behind the barrier? Imagine I'm in a car now and the people sitting there. How are you going to shout through a piece of plastic to do a driving lesson? It's not practical. And secondly, you may know it was on the news over the weekend, there is a massive shortage of plastic. Isn't it funny how over the last couple of years there's been this massive drive to stop plastic, stop using plastic, don't use plastic, it's evil, it's bad. And now suddenly everyone's saying, we want plastic, we need plastic. Isn't it funny how things have turned around in the same way that the message has always been, stop using your car, use public transport. And now the message is, stop using public transport and use your car. It's all a bit upside down at the moment. So barriers are not a realistic option. The only thing we can realistically do is reduce the risk. Now, as I record this, and there are many figures and statistics around, but apparently in my area, 1 in 400 people may have the virus. So if you think about it, if I go out now and I did a lesson with 10 people this week, 10 different people, the chance of one of those having the virus is quite slim. And as time goes by and the infection rates come down, it will change. Now that figure of 1 in 400 will increase to 1 in 500, 1 in 600, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 2,000, 1 in 10,000. That's the way I believe that instructors are going to get back to work. It's not about cutting the risk to zero. Now there'll never be a 0% risk of returning to work. And it's all very well sitting around inside your house saying, I'm going to wait for a vaccine, I'm going to wait till it's all over. We don't know if that's ever going to happen. On one side of the fence, people are saying a vaccine is likely and it will be coming soon. Other people are saying it's not going to happen ever. Over the weekend, there's some interesting news came to light that some professionals now, some top professors, are saying that the most likely end to this is the virus will simply burn out by about September. It will have just lived its life and have gone, and it will go as quickly as it came. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not a viral expert, but these are different things that are being said. So my opinion is the best way for driving instructors to go back to work is to wait a little bit longer until the risk is reduced even more. Now I think realistically the earliest most instructors will go back is going to be July. We're all waiting to hear whether this self-employment scheme is being extended, as the furlough scheme was extended. People that work for a company are now having their income protected until October. But I have said from August the government payments will reduce and employers will be expected to contribute more towards those costs. So I think what's going to happen is in the next week or two, we'll hear from the Chancellor that people who are self-employed are going to have the scheme extended, but probably from August. We may only get 60% of the income covered or 50%. I'm just guessing at the moment, it's all guesswork, but that's what I think is going to happen. So one of the ideas I've had to make it safer to return to work for instructors is why not look at doing intensive courses. Now on an intensive course, we'd be spending the whole week with 1 or maybe 2 people, maybe doing 1 pupil in the morning, 1 pupil in the afternoon, and it's the same 2 pupils throughout the week. So how does that make it safer? Well, of course, you're only spending time with 1 or 2 different people in the car. It's not like having 3 or 4 different people a day. And if both of you have been isolated for a while, then it's safe, because if you've been on your own for a month and they've been on their own for a month, or in the same household for a month, then the chance of infection is very low. And this comes back to what I said before. We can't make the chance 0, at least not in the short term, until there's a definite vaccine. And even if one was found today, it will be at least 6 months before everyone's had it. So we need to start thinking more about not eliminating the risk, but reducing the risk. And if you are in one of the high-risk groups, then of course this may not be a viable option for you. But if you're not, then this could be a good option to consider an intensive course. Some people are still off work, but they're still being paid, so they've got the money and they've got the time. So a good time may be to consider doing an intensive course. So those are my thoughts and ideas, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments section below. Check out the other videos on the screen, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.